Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I got a disturbing text message this morning from a friend, and basically what they said, as you can see here in this tweet, coloring packet my goddaughter got in school today. This is supposedly part of the Black History Month curriculum. She's 9. This is what they're sending out for Black History Month packets for 9-year-olds. Let's go ahead and pull this up and I'll show you exactly what it says here. At the top, it says, T people affirming everybody has the right to choose their own gender by listening to their own heart and mind. It reads at the bottom of the paper. Everyone gets to choose if they are a girl or a boy or both or neither or something else, and no one else gets to choose for them. Basically saying children get to make decisions themselves at an early age, at a very early, young age of 9 is what they're trying to place on the impressions, the impressionable minds. Second screenshot we have here is queer affirming. Everybody has the right to choose who they love and the kind of family they want by listening to their own heart and mind. Now let's keep in mind, as you can see in this paper, see the Black Power fist in the background. This is what they're handing out during Black History Month. So I have to ask you, what does this have to do with Black history? It seems that DeSantis may have been right. Maybe he was right. Maybe what's being called Black history is really a way to mask, provide a cloak for, provide a cover for cultural Marxism, Confucianism for young children. This really has nothing to do with Black history. If you want to talk about what Black history is, we could talk about first Black Republicans and a whole bunch of other great contributions made by Black people in this land of America. But instead, they've chosen to shoehorn people's gender identification and sexual preference or attraction, whatever the politically correct term is. That's what they're teaching in to children for Black History Month. Again, I ask you, what does this have to do with Black history? If you ask me, I would say absolutely nothing. So why would they put this here? When I look at, I saw a tweet the other day from Black Twitter, and they were calling for the rainbow community to stop producing movies and television shows on Netflix and whatever because they say they turn out to be garbage many of the time. And I've checked out some of these shows to see what kind of propaganda they're pushing out to the people. And I would have to agree. Programming doesn't seem to be the best that we have to offer anyone of any identity, race, color, creed, etc. So why the Black community? Um, you know, one of the theories that many have, I think I can agree with, is that frankly, Black people are very influential. And if you can, and also very, very much participatory, that's a word, and activism. The great activists have a long history of activism. So what they want to do is use the power of activism to push other agendas. Many of these activists being Black women, using them to push other agendas. The other theory that's floating around is the fact that, well, how do you quell a Black revolution, a Black uprising, Black consciousness black unity, black nationalism. You know, what you do is you infiltrate and then you divert. You infiltrate. We saw that happen with Black Lives Matter in 2015 and beyond, where they used the deaths of black men to push upon us uh, another agenda. And they did not hide it. It was on their website that they were for the rainbow community. One of the founders blatantly admitted that they were a Marxist. And I would say prior to BLM, you know, with the deaths of Sean Garner, et cetera, at the hands of police officers, even Trayvon Martin with the George Zimmerman case, Tamir Rice, who was brutally murdered by he was only like 13, I want to say, playing with a toy gun. They didn't stop to fire. They just firing shots before even stopped. But anyway, shout out to Darren Sills, RIP Darren Sills. Also, during the Ferguson riots, we saw the first emergence of what appears to be Antifa operatives, which Darren Sills made an account of, basically saying, hey, we had a peaceful protest here in Ferguson, and then it was co-opted by provocateurs, and it mentioned white provocateurs in mass, which just simply reminds me of Antifa. But again, this is about derailing a very legitimate gripe that a community had against its police force. For example, the great Alex Jones has been warning people of a coming police state. And that's something that the black community has been fighting against for decades, the police state, and how brutally they are abusing power, just brutally abusing power. But again, this comes back to diverting black consciousness, diverting the black movement so that you don't have any real revolution, any real, because the truth of the matter is the things that the black community is complaining about are things that many Americans could complain about, especially the mismanagement of cities, mostly ran by Democrats, elected Democrats, et cetera, et cetera. And again, of course, taxation, the job problem, the school problem, as we can see. Not, you know, you wonder why children aren't learning math, science, STEM, some relevant subjects. Well, look what they're teaching children. Look what they're teaching children. This is stuff that should be left up to the parents to decide what do they want to teach their own children as far as sex is concerned. But they don't want a population of people thinking. They don't want a population of people who can do for themselves. As Sonny Johnson is famously quoted, Sonny Johnson basically said, Democrats can't be the party of the poor unless they are poor, unless their constituents are poor. And how do you keep people poor? Well, you keep them distracted, diverted, away from the important subjects and topics, and worried about everything that, frankly, is a personal matter and does not matter. These things do not matter in the grand scheme of things. They don't want independence. That's the real thing when you talk about black nationalism, black consciousness, black revolution. Really what you're talking about here is independence. People being independent, not wanting handouts. And when people are independent, then they don't need government programs. Back in the day, they had mutual aid societies where people worked together to make sure that their community had the necessities. And then once government programs comes around, you start to see mutual aid societies die off and people not rely on each other for their necessities, the things that are actually going to give them some upward mobility. say people pull themselves up by the bootstraps. Well, they would love to, but as you can see from a very early age, their minds are being distracted from the important things. They're not learning coding, run the gamut of the things that they could be learning: history, economics, etc., etc. They're just not learning those things because they'd rather distract them with their cultural Marxism. 9-year-old being taught about the rainbow community. So a little black girl, but specifically a part of the Black History Month. So what are they teaching in CRT? Are they teaching this in CRT too? What does, and what they'll say is it's intersectionality. They'll say it's intersectionality that is the reason that we have to discuss the rainbow agenda when it includes, when speaking of black people. I would vehemently disagree. I believe these matters are personal, and frankly, the black community is not very receptive to things like this, and I can see a school getting backlash for passing around this cultural Marxist propaganda. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Anyway, tonight, actually, Hotep Nation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization who promotes homeschooling. We actually assist existing homeschooling programs. If you'd like to donate, you can do so at hotepnation.com/donate, or go to hotepnation.com and hit the donate button. And, one of the main programs we're working with right now, Home Hacker Camp, is teaching kids STEM. Many of these kids come from conservative families, black families. But what we're doing is we're sponsoring families who would not otherwise be able to afford these programs, because obviously in tech is expensive. So we sponsor families to get into these programs. Kids, tech, robotics, programming, coding, etc. Tonight, 8 p.m., as always, every Thursday, Hotep's Been Told You with Uncle Hotep. And support the channel. Go ahead and improve your focus with Master Focus, our 100% herbal nootropic designed to help you improve your mood, memory, recall, flow. A lot of being productive is getting in a flow of things. And the herbal mixture that we created, the formula we created, is designed to clean your body out. Not a detox that's going to have you pooping, but detox at a very molecular level, promote the growth of dendrites, really get those synapses snapping in your mind, and make you, quite frankly, sharper. So support the channel. Go to trymasterfocus.com. If you watch this channel and you get a monthly subscription, become a client of ours, then we will reduce your fee. After you get your membership, send an email and say, hey, I watch your YouTube channel, reduce my fee, and I'll go ahead and drop that down somewhere for 40. You can get the thing at a more affordable rate because you support our YouTube channel. We love our subscribers. I'm Hotep Jesus, and I'll see you next.
Didn't listen to me then, I bet they feel me now. Time don't let me lose it. The booth not about to prove it. I set goals and pursue it. You the best to never do it. Invest my money, talking fluent, stupid, ducking the Judas. It broke my heart, but over my eyes, you have no honor, I have no choice. Chasing the commas till I'm a goner. Been left for a minute. On my way home, mama, I promise, got caught up in it. Damn. Everybody eats when I'm batting at the plate. First, second, third, home, $1 million